Hello everybody, welcome to another show of Complete Angler 2. This video is it's going to be on some boat tackle. Something which people may or may not know, there's in the boat fishing world, there's a certain piece of boom or a piece of apparatus which you use when you're mainly sort of drifting for either cod or pollack on a wreck or over sandbanks for bass. There's a piece of gear from Tronix Pro, funny enough. It's called a Portland boom. I'm trying to remember the exact name. It's a Tronix Pro Portland Pro boom. About £3, and they're about £1 each. You get 3 in a pack. And so I just wanted. It's a bit of a grey area because it's an absolutely brilliant piece of kit, and it prevents tangles pretty much. And it really simplifies, it just can keep you fishing, prevents tangles, simple to use. However, people do misinterpret it and use it wrong. And there's no real sort of diagrams or pictures anywhere. So this video is not a flashy video with lots of fish being caught or anything like that, but this is literally just to show people how to rig it up basically when you're on a boat, whether you're sort of drifting doing this boat fishing. So anyway, so this is the actual device. That's it there. There's a pulley bead here which slides up and down. Okay. There's a swivel on either end with some shrink wrap. Okay. This is about probably 7 inches long, something like that. And literally what happens is I've seen all sorts of people rig it up wrong, incorrectly, attaching leads to this thing. Right, what you do, right, you attach a trace to this swivel here, this pulley bead. All right, just trying so you can see it in the white there. So you attach a trace to that. So you want about £25 amnesia or fluorocarbon, something like that, about 4 to 5 foot long, to a shad, something like that, or a red gill evo, or a sidewinder bass lure or something like that. That's all you need in length. Alright, fluorocarbon. So to the bottom piece here, right, you want like a clip, a lead clip, and your lead goes on there. Okay, so a lead's going to go on there, and your main line is attached to the top. That's as simple as that. So what you'll find is when you lower it down, like the shad or the red gill or whatever, you might find it starts to look a bit untidy and you think, oh Christ, that's untangling. But it actually untangles itself once it's down there, would you believe? And yeah, brilliant for sort of drifting for bass and your wreck fishing as well. Just prevents tangles, you see. With the shrink wrap, the fluorocarbon and your shad, if you didn't have that, sometimes you have little spurs left over when you tie your knot. And sometimes your fluorocarbon can sort of get tangled up in that and start remember on the rapid descent down to the seabed, it can start to, so you're fishing the entire drift, snookered, buggered up, but with this rig, it prevents that, alright? And it's seriously good. So what else can I tell you about this? So I've done a little diagram to sort of show you a bit more. So you can see £30 braid to the top of it. So that's just like, where are we? So there it is there. You can see the pulley bead. So on the pulley bead, fluorocarbon, £20 to £40 to a shad. Probably about, I'd say 4 to 5 foot long is all you need. Alright? And then your lead, obviously 6 to 8 ounce, depending on what the tide's doing. Obviously as the tide eases off, scale down your lead. And obviously as the tide's fairly strong, 8 ounce, 9 ounce, something like that. Remember the boat is on the drift, so you don't need too heavy leads, I would say, but you maybe want to bring a 10 ounce just in case, you know, if you're fishing bass tides, but that is heavy, that's horribly heavy. But really you want to be trying to get down to like a 7 ounce, I would say, for comfort, depending on what you're doing. And obviously there's a clip there, where is it? There's a clip just there to the lead, attaching it to this, and then your braid above. All right, and that's pretty much it. $2.99. Really do simplify your angling there. I'll just sort of see if I can sort of just show you a bit more. So here we got the boat rod. This is a 12 to 20 pound rod. And I've actually got a piece of fluorocarbon, sort of chafing fluorocarbon, probably about, how long is it? It's probably about, it's actually long, this is rigged up for bass, this is about 6 or 7 foot long. So if you are sort of going to be fishing like a wreck or something like that, you might not just want to have you can just put your braid straight to it, but you might get the odd chafe here and there, and that'd be sod's law. When you get that decent fish, your braid has been compromised, right? And that's hard to see on braid whether it's had a chafe or not, you know, when it's wet. So, but with this stuff here, this would take the chafe, and it's like when you finish the drift and you wind your gear up, you can check your leader here to see if that's got any spurs on it or any kinks. And you may look at it and give it a little tug and that'll either snap there, and you think, oh, thank Christ for that. Or you'll run your fingers along it and you think, I just feel a little something that isn't strong enough. Just try and break it. Just literally say to yourself, right, I'm going to try and break it, and if it won't break, even if you can see a little gash there or a little bit of a chafe, if it's not breaking, that should be alright. But in any doubt, just snip it off and away you go. Try on a new one. Alright. One thing I will say about this, really, really important, I nearly forgot. Please don't have any swivels higher up attaching these sort of leaders or anything like that. It's got to be fluorocarbon to braid knot. So it's going to be quite a specialist sort of knot you're going to do up there. Okay, don't put any swivels. Why? Because your 4 foot, 5 foot trace, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Well, that'll spiral up here, right? And then that'll just prevent it. That'll bugger it up. You see. But expect to see a little, when you lower it down, it looks like you're lowering it down a bit tangled. And you think, oh Christ, what the hell is this going to work? But no, it untangles itself. It's really is a good winner. So, right, so I'm just trying to see, so we've got a lead. So all we do, we just whack on a lead like so. So that's it, this slides up and down. Like that, and you lower it down like this, okay, and you literally, on that pulley bead there, you tie yourself some fluorocarbon, alright, and to here you tie it to a typical knot, and about 4 foot, something like that, alright, and you literally, all you do, and you're lowering it down, and you can either work it like a hopper rig, where you sort of ring this up. This is weighted, so when this goes up, this is going to go down as well. So this is whatever you're doing with your lead. This is going to do this sort of action because it's like a weighted paddle tone, right? And virtually all the fish, a lot of fish, they take it when it's on the drop. Don't ask me why. They just do. In fresh water, salt water, they like when it's on the drop. So I would definitely suggest a weighted version instead of just like a hook into a sort of a soft jelly worm or paddle tail, something like that. Weighted, because then it's, you know, it's always going to be working, whatever you're doing with the rod tip. And you can just straight retrieve this if you've got to get over a wreck, or the skipper says the fish are higher up. Then just fish it like you would do an ordinary flying collar rig, and just retrieve it, a relaxed retrieve. But obviously, I think that's about 8 ounce that. But as the tide eases, you want to try and get down to as light as possible, make it as comfy for you as possible. So that's pretty much it. That's the Portland rig. It's just a bit of, it's a very straightforward video, but it's something just to sort of, for people who are sort of looking at these and thinking, oh God, how do I use them? I'm used to using the more conventional sort of boom. Don't know if I've got one on me. But yeah, this is how you use it. And then the video explains, if you're using it for the first time, not to panic too much if your leader goes up the line and it looks like you're lowered it tangled, and you think, oh God, I'm used to using a flowing trace where it's out the back of the boat and all this sort of stuff. So don't panic too much. So what you could do, as the boat's still moving in position, you can lower your trace down in your lead and just have it plopping in the water, so it's already straightened out if you feel happy lowering it like that. But trust me, it doesn't make any difference. Prevents tangles, alright, which is the bane of the saltwater angler when he's drifting on a boat. is, am I tangled or not when you're fishing artificial lures? Is my gear tangled or not? And sometimes you wind, in the old days, you used to wind it up, the fucking thing was in a big ball and mess, all tangled, and you're like, do you know what, I've just been fishing and it's not even been working, the rig's not even been working because somehow it's got tangled. But this prevents all that. Alright, so it maximises your opportunities. One thing I will say, they're not prone to getting snagged up. What you can do, you can attach your lead with a maybe 10 or 15 pound monofilament. So if you do get sort of snagged up, might go a bit lighter than that, maybe 8 to 10 pound. So if you do get snagged up and you've got a fish on or whatever, then your lead's going to go, and you might just get your gear back, you might get your fish back as well. So there's something you can do there. But I haven't experimented too much. I usually just clip on straight to it. I don't want to tell you to do something like that, and then your trace gets caught up in the bit of mono, see, because you've got your silicone just there. So I generally, to avoid getting caught up in the wreck, usually sometimes a skipper will say, oh, wreck now coming up. So if it's coming up, maybe sort of a good 10 or 15 turns on your reel and just fish your gear over the wreck. And if you're getting frustrated, you're not having a very good day, you'll start losing gear because you know the fish are tight to the wreck. So what you'll do, you'll just say, oh, what the hell? And you just go for it. Bang, get caught up in the wreck. But every once in a while, you might get a good fish. So it's a risk, it's worth taking. Having plenty of these and gambling a little bit and risking your gear because you know the fish are going to be tight to the wreck when the tide is at its strongest. And when the tide eases, the fish start getting a bit higher up in the water column. Remember, it's a food thing. They're down there waiting for their food. So whatever the tide's doing and the small bait fish start moving up as the tide eases, then they go up as well. So it's just as simple as that. So there you go. There's the port and boom. Hope I haven't run on too much. It's a very simple, straightforward video. But I've noticed there's not much information on the net with regards to how to deal with these things. And these are extremely good. Maybe it's a little secret. Everyone's trying to keep it secret. But the secret is out. Alright guys, see you later. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. And I will see you later. With a fish next time, with a bit of luck. Alright, see you later.